Yo, I am freaking the F out, y'all. I just got finished making a video talking about Aaron Rodgers coming to the damn Raiders. And I had a source or a friend that kind of works for the Raiders. And he told me that Aaron Rodgers was going to have a meeting with the Raiders and he was going to come with the Raiders. So I made a video talking about that and free agency and rumors and other stuff like that. And then I just uploaded it, put it for members only, and all of a sudden, after making the Aaron Rodgers video where I thought he was coming to the Raiders, or predicting it, I went online after uploading the video and I found out Geno Smith has now been traded to the damn Raiders for a third-round pick. What the hell happened there? Well, we gotta respect that Pete Carroll wanted Geno Smith because he worked with him, and we could have predicted Russell Wilson coming to the Raiders. But I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm upset. I'm freaking upset, y'all. I mean, we got good value for him. I get it. And he's gonna come cheaper, maybe than Sam Darnold or some of these other veteran quarterbacks. But how cheap? He's still going to be $20 to $35 million. So look, before I get any further, if you would like to join me and talk about this, I have a link if you want to be a guest and talk to me. But you got to go to my Twitter or my X and you got to DM me. And then in a couple of minutes, I'll send the link to join this live stream and talk to me. Hopefully I can hear you. I have bad hearing. But if you want to do that, go to X and send me a message that you might want to join the live stream. I might not be on that long, maybe 20, 25 minutes till my battery runs out. Hopefully my audio works. Like I said, I just made a video talking about Aaron Rodgers, predicting him to possibly come to the Raiders. So I am freaked the heck out, y'all. I don't know why this bothers me so much. Let me know your thoughts. Frost said they are both trash quarterbacks. Russell Wilson probably and Geno Smith. Daniel's online. One night stand is here. Goodness gracious. I am utterly fucking pissed off. Look, we're still going to draft a quarterback. But now we have to get a first-round quarterback, in my opinion. You guys let me know what you're thinking. I've been watching Geno Smith since he was at West Virginia. I mean, I don't like what Geno Smith did with the Seahawks. Even though he played good, one night stand, you think it's a good signing? Please tell me why. Let's think it through together. Why is this a good signing? Rebel Raider, bad move. We needed the pick. And what are we paying for Geno? Again, that's why I'm freaked the heck out. Third round pick that we need. We could have drafted Will Howard or one of these other quarterbacks or a running back. Now we gave up a third round pick for a $40 million quarterback on his last leg. Better than what we have now. I get it. Mike, he has the 30th ranked O-line. Who does? Geno Smith? Squirrels swim on their backs to keep their nuts dry. Geno is good enough to win games. It feels like the Gardner Minshew pick, if not a little bit better, in my opinion, from last year. That's what it feels like to me. He knows Pete. I don't care if he knows Pete. I'm not being mad at you guys. I'm just freaked out. I dyed my hair. That's why there's dye and everything, because I dyed my hair a little while ago. And I didn't do a good job. I had no gloves. So that's why I got black and everything. for the middle finger. It's just way better than Minshew. I mean, yeah, I can agree with that. Let's talk. I mean, are we going to draft a quarterback in the first round? Are we going to trade up? Because we might have to trade up to get a quarterback in the first round. But I don't think that's the Raiders' plans anymore. I don't think we're going to trade up or we're going to draft a quarterback in the first round. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Thank you, Gamer69. What's up, Michael F.? Reports came out and said he's expecting to get 40. If that's Vin Ludmary, I'm fucking going nuts. If Geno Smith is getting $45 to $55 million, I'm going to kill some fucking bitches. That is the going rate for quarterbacks, but the top 5. What the fuck is going on? Okay, let's talk it through. Let me talk about the value of Geno Smith. Let's just talk it through. Please help me out. All right, Daniel said, I don't think he's going to be the long-term answer. I see us drafting a quarterback day 2. If one of the top 2 quarterbacks don't fall to us. Yes, I can agree with that statement, Daniel. Geno might not make it. What's up, Kurt? Geno might not make it to the season. Him and AOC compete, and we are a draft cast. He's a solid backup. Someone has to finally say enough is enough. Either sign. Anybody thinking Geno Smith as a quarterback are the same dumbasses that like Gardner Minshew? Anybody thinking Geno Smith is a quarterback or a good quarterback or whatever are the same dumbasses that like Gardner Minshew? Geno is better than Darnold. Again, in my opinion, they're on the same par. I didn't want either of these quarterbacks. I didn't want either of them. All right, guys, forgive me. I'm not going to look at your comments for a second because I got to think this through. I barely found out after I made an Aaron Rodgers video thinking that Aaron Rodgers, there is a world where Aaron Rodgers becomes our quarterback. Then my fucking world was shattered. Not in a good way. I was happy with what the Raiders did with Max Crosby to a certain extent and how they're signing the offensive line. I don't get it. Did Pete Carroll win this battle? Did Jeff Spytek want Geno Smith to reunite with Pete Carroll? Did Chip Kelly really want Geno Smith? Is he a running quarterback? He does run at times, and he does have that ability, and is he a purebred RPO quarterback, Geno Smith? I mean, he throws the YOLO ball too much. But here's the kicker. Tyler Lockett and what's that dude's name? DK Metcalf. Well, Tyler Lockett's available to reunite him with Geno Smith. If we wanted DK Metcalf to reunite him with Geno Smith, that's going to cost a draft pick and some more money. So I don't think that's a possibility. Plus, DK Metcalf and Geno Smith have issues. They kind of don't like each other. He doesn't throw them the ball enough or whatever the case is when I was watching the Seattle games. But I could see somebody like Tyler Lockett coming to the Raiders with Geno Smith on a semi-cheap deal because he's 32 years of age. But what the fuck is the overall plan? When I don't understand things, everybody, I freak out, as you can tell. I freak out. All right. We gave up a 3rd round pick. The Raiders are going all in on a veteran quarterback. They're reuniting Pete Carroll with Geno Smith for a third-round pick. How much will he cost? Again, the going rate for the big quarterbacks are somewhere between $40 and $50 million. I don't think Geno would covet that much. Plus, they could put a 2 or 3 year deal on the back burner. Maybe they get him for 35 or 40. But again, we possibly could have had a Kirk Cousins, a Justin Fields. But now we got a veteran quarterback, all right? Boom. We got a veteran quarterback that's a bridge quarterback, no pun intended, for Geno Smith. He's a bridge quarterback. So what does that say we're going to do in the draft? What does that say we're going to do in the draft? Would Geno Smith want to come to this team after we draft a first-round quarterback? Will he have issues? Well, probably not if he's getting fucking paid. But they're going all in for Pete Carroll's 2 or 3 years. They're going all in with a veteran quarterback that knows Pete. He's going to have to learn a new offense under Chip Kelly. Geno, does he excel at learning new offenses? He's been to multiple teams. Does he excel in his first year at every team that he goes to? I don't know. I don't think so. Is there going to be a little bit of learning? How long will it take? Will he be the starter? Will he compete with a drafted rookie quarterback in the first round? I don't think so. They got Geno Smith. That's their guy as a bridge quarterback. Fuck me, yo. I don't understand it. Tell me. And if somebody feels like donating Super Chat, I'd appreciate it. I'm struggling in real life to pay my bills. I don't want to be homeless in the next month or two. So if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. But please tell me, what the hell is going on? Facing Aaron Rodgers is washed, bro. But we could have got him on a 1 year, $25, $30 million deal and a prove-it deal. And he is a cancer sometimes, but he would want to get another contract. So he could have played great for the Raiders. You know, he would have been on his best behavior to get another contract. Then we could have drafted a quarterback to play under Aaron Rodgers and, you know, teach him. And we'd have AOC as well to learn from Aaron Rodgers. So that's why Aaron Rodgers was a possibility. Seattle won 10 games last season. I know they did. They were in the possible playoffs towards the end of the season. Just wait until Pete Carroll starts building the Legion of Doom. Well, that's on defense. Pete Carroll, I don't know. Is he a defensive guru? I don't know. Tony Davis, you think it's the perfect move? Now we can be competitive? We could have been competitive with Aaron Rodgers. We could have been competitive with Russell Wilson. We could have been competitive with Sam Darnold. I don't know if I agree with that statement, Tony. I don't know if I agree with that statement. We're competitive with Aiden O'Connell sometimes. Geno Smith has been in NFL since 2013, but he's only had 2 to 3 good seasons. Equals bum. Frost, I am agreeing with you, dude. I am agreeing with you. For competitive for 1 year, Tony. Okay. Do you want that distraction with Rodgers? Again, for 1 year, for $25 million, where he might try to prove it, let's talk. Again, he might be on his best behavior to give him, you know, in a prove it year where he gets another contract for $100 million to close out his career. I would have chanced it. Plus, he wants to play on the West Coast. And again, Max Crosby liked him, spoke about him, wanted him. And I don't know if he'd be 1,000% of a cancer. Tom Brady would have liked him or wanted him. And again, what does this say? What does this say? Did you hear the Seahawks waived wanted Crosby for Metcalf and Smith. Who's Smith? Did you hear? Okay, so happy the Raiders said no and made. Oh, Geno Smith. Sorry, Geno Smith. And no made the deal. Rodgers is Rodgers. He is not on his best behavior at this time. Again, for $100 million, he would be Michael F., in my opinion. Plus to play in Vegas for 1 year while we draft a quarterback, it's all he's got. It's all he's got. Geno is not long-term. It's called the bridge. I get it. That's what it is. But still, what does this say if we draft a quarterback in the first round? Is there going to be competition? Raider fans are going to be divided on this topic. 50% of the Raider fans are going to like Geno Smith, and 50% are going to probably feel the way that I do. It's insane. Geno is equivalent to Minshew. I can agree. Geno, but then Tony said Geno is way better than Minshew. This says Pete wants to win now. But again, is Geno Smith a winning quarterback that can take teams over the hump and win playoff football? I don't think he is. He's like a Derek Carr. He's like a little bit better than Gardner Minshew. And he's a Pro Bowler. I don't give a fuck about the Pro Bowl, Tony. The Pro Bowl is bullshit. There's always alternates and all that other bullshit. It is the HFL should be the competition. Get rid of them. Rodgers is not taking $25 million. I don't know. I think the free agency market is not going to want Aaron Rodgers for that like $40 million. They're all going to give him a 1-year deal. So I think teams can get Aaron Rodgers between 25 and 30, $32 million for 1 year. That's just my opinion. The market's not going to be good for him. Daniel said, I think he's better than Derek Carr. That's fine. That's fine. Grumpy Raider fan, how you doing? This makes me the same grumpy Raider fan. It's not good or bad. I just don't understand it. I want somebody to make sense for me. There's so many, in my opinion, better options. And we got to find out the money. I mean, we could have got a quarterback without giving up draft capital for $40 million. But again, we now gave up draft capital and possibly another $40 million for a quarterback that the Seattle Seahawks didn't even give a fuck if he's released or gone, because they're moving on. They've seen enough from him. And that's how I feel. Doesn't mean he's not a good quarterback or a bad quarterback. I've just seen enough of him. Rodgers is going to the Giants on a 2-year deal. You may be right. That's a good point, Mikey. Again, the Seattle Seahawks saw enough of him, and we now got rid of draft capital when we could have possibly gotten another quarterback, maybe on a cheaper deal, without giving up draft capital, still drafting a quarterback, and saving draft capital, getting a veteran quarterback, whoever one was available. It's all about, Pete Carroll being reunited with Geno Smith. We've worked together. I enjoy him. I can make him better. Did Chip Kelly really want Geno Smith? Maybe because Chip Kelly wants a veteran quarterback, and he thinks because Pete Carroll talked him up to Chip Kelly that he could work with him. It's pretty damn interesting, y'all. Yes, there are better options, but Geno will fit Chip Kelly's system, run the ball, and make plays. Does Geno Smith run a lot? I don't, for the life of me, remember him being a running quarterback. Maybe at times, but I don't really. We need a strong run game and an O-line around Geno Smith. And it's going to be his first year in a new system. I have my concerns, y'all. We used Adams pick for Geno, the Devontae Adams pick. Hey, that's a good point. But still, it's still draft capital, so not much of a loss. I tend to disagree, but I see your point, Tony. We have been hearing he fits the system for 4 years now. Who? Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, that phrase. Yeah, from every quarterback. What's up, Burpee Reaper? I love that name. Michael 20. I don't know what that means. Michael F., I was being nice. Guys, please sell me on Geno Smith. Sell me on Geno Smith. I am not sold on Geno Smith. This, I'm definitely overreacting, but I don't like it. I need more information to agree with it, and I don't understand it. I don't like it. I don't understand it. And I thought there were better options to not give up any draft capital. And this just proves Pete Carroll thinks that he'll automatically come in, make us competitive to win 9 or 10 games that he probably averages. Geno Smith game-winning rushing touchdown against 49ers ended their playoff chance last season. Okay, well, that's a nice reminder. That's definitely a nice reminder. There was rumors that Marcus Mariota might come to the Raiders because he could run a little bit as well. So if Chip Kelly and Pete Carroll think of him as a running quarterback that can do a lot in Chip Kelly's offense with RPOs and whatever of the like, better than Justin Fields, okay. I mean, we have to honor and respect their decision, but this, in my opinion, came out of left field. It came out of left field. And I didn't even foresee this as a possibility. And depending on the money that we gave up for him, I don't know. I have some issues with it. I just really, really do. Please let me know your truth in the chat room or the description or whatever. I think here, Huero. I think we need a. Oh, what's up, Burpee Reaper? He's not a munchkin. Does that help? I think we need a running game now that Geno Smith. Mariota can run the ball. Draft Gentry. Sorry. Who is our running back? Yeah, well, they might want to get Ashanti Genti in the draft. That's 6. Instead of everyone seems to care if they run. How about if they can read defenses and complete passes? Good point. Good point. I don't like Geno Smith as a quarterback. He doesn't wow me. He doesn't do anything that I really, really like. Geno Smith, 2024, 4,300 yards and 21 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Was that worth a third-round pick? Raider Owl. That's a very interesting statement. I like the yardage. The touchdowns, anything over 20 is decent, but I would like 25 or more. And the interceptions, I would like 10 or less. So you guys let me know. Is what we just read about Geno Smith, is that worth a third-round pick? Nah, I bet you Sam Darnold, Kirk Cousins, or some of the other quarterbacks had better or similar stats to that, if not better. Ashton Gentry at number 6. Don't love the move, but it's okay. Big Tone 209. Oh, my goodness. I am frustrated and upset, not only because I made a video. I'm still going to release the video tomorrow, but I talk about free agency and other stuff, not only Aaron Rodgers. I'm still going to release the video tomorrow, or maybe, yeah, to try to make a couple of dollars. But I'm just upset. Cuero says he would say no because of the age. AR had 28. Aaron Rodgers had 28, what, interceptions or touchdowns? I think that's touchdowns, Michael. Raider Dank Vader is giving it the throw up emoji. That's how I feel. My feelings are fucking valid. I've been the OG Raider fan through thick and thin. And I kind of like what they started to do this offseason. I didn't like that they hired Pete Carroll. I was upset about it because of his age and this and that. But then people started to wear me down. He's going to do good. He's going to do good. He's going to do good. And now we got Geno Smith. Now I'm fucking pissed off they hired Pete Carroll. I am pissed off they hired Pete Carroll. This is not a splashy move. In my opinion, it's not a good move. It's not a good move. Third pick, what the hell? What's up, IDL? We are sick of seeing mediocrity. Is this a retool move? Or is this a rebuild move? What do you guys think? What's up, Warrior Mindset? Geno's cheap. We have Aiden O'Connell, and we can still draft a quarterback in round 1 or 2. Yes. But you're thinking Geno's cheap. Isn't he going to want a new contract? Okay, guys. See, I'm a little bit stupid sometimes. Isn't he going to want a new contract? Somebody let me know what he's getting paid, how many years left are on his deal. Is he going to want a new contract? If so, how much are we going to pay him? Essentially traded Adams for Geno Smith. Again, that is the trade capital, but when we trade for a quarterback, don't they normally want a new agreement? Somebody look up what because I can't do it on my phone. Look up what Geno was making, or he's going to make this year, or do you think we're going to give him a new contract, or we're going to let him play out the final year at whatever he's making under his contract? That may be the play. Maybe there is no new contract. Maybe he's going to play out this final year or two under his previous contract with Seattle. Somebody let me know how much that contract is. $30 million versus the cap. He will be a free agent in 2026. So it's basically a 1-year deal that we gave up for a 3rd-round draft pick. Okay. Please let me know, guys. Geno is a bridge quarterback only on a 2-year deal, $40 million a year? You mean from the Raiders, or is that what he's making with Seattle? How many years left does he have? He wants 40 to 45 million a year. It's a rebuild. New coach, new team. Somebody let me know the questions to the answers that I was just asking. I mean, the answers to the questions I was just asking. Remember when Josh McDaniels brought a bunch of New England patch players? Now Pete Carroll is bringing Seattle players. Yeah, you know what? That's a good point for us. That should have been too expected, and apparently it's coming true. He's on his last year, said Bashan. How do you know what he wants, Tony? Or are the Raiders going to keep him on that year, the deal that he had with Seattle? Geno and Raiders are working out a new deal as we speak. How do you know that? You got sources? 12.7 million plus incentives. Is that his last year deal? He was asking 75 million for 3 years. Are you talking this year or with the Seahawks previously? Again, I'm a little confused. Only one Seattle player. Ugh. What was Geno Smith making and what's left on his contract? Seahawks wanted Crosby for Geno and DK Metcalf. Was that reported, Raider Al? You're saying that was what he was asking with Seattle, and he's making 12.7 million this year, Michael F., this year? So if Geno Smith is making like 13 million on a final year of his contract and we traded a draft pick for him, Big Tone, you don't give up a third for a 1-year rental? I mean, that's a good point. So you think he's going to want a new contract. But again, I'm a kind of a piece of shit or a dick general manager. I would give up a 3rd-round pick for Geno for 1 year, then get him for $13 million, then draft a quarterback. And if Geno doesn't pan out, he's a free agent next year. And guess what? We didn't like him. You can move the fuck on. We got a 1-year quarterback and we drafted your replacement. And now we can move the fuck on. And we only spent $13 million for you. Will he become a holdout? Then fuck it. We drafted a quarterback. You become a holdout, then we'll release your ass. But we played a card and we gambled with a 3rd-round pick. That could be some interesting type of, repeaters. You don't give up a 3rd for a 1-year rental. Ian Rappaport reported it. Okay, you're talking about that trade. The Seahawks re-signed Geno Smith to a 3-year, $75 million contract in 2023. That deal gave him the opportunity to make an additional $30 million via contract escalators. God, this is interesting. This move only makes AOC a better watch. It's Geno's 3rd year on his $75 million contract. So it's his last year. So is it like $25 million or $13 million on his last year? Pete Carroll would rather have Geno for a 3rd and not sign Russell Wilson. That's true. There you go, Warrior. You brought up a very good point. Very good point. So Geno Smith, in Pete Carroll's eyes, is better than Russell Wilson. AOC is just a backup quarterback. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, I like him. He's a good backup. Raiders have the worst quarterback in AFC West. I kind of agree with that. So Tony Davis says $31 million he's getting from Seattle, according to Over the Cap this year. Now Baston is saying $25 million. I'm fucking confused, y'all. How much is on his contract for this year from Seattle in his final year? I would let him play under that contract. I wouldn't give him another contract. Or you give him an extension and you maybe up it by $3 or $4 million. I still think we're going to get Geno between 25 and 35 million. He's not going to get 40. He's not going to get 50. I mean, maybe guaranteed on a 3-year deal, but he's not going to make more than 30 to $35 million with the Raiders if they renegotiate a contract. Yeah, what's up, Yev Raider? Good to see you, brother. I miss you truly. It's $31 million versus the cap, and Seattle is eating some of it. So there, I would not put Geno Smith on a new contract. I'd let him play it out this year to try to go to free agency. We signed Buckwheat at quarterback. That is so true. Again, he signed a 3-year, $75 million in 2023. Okay, sounds like $25 million then a season. But look, I don't know, man. I'm not happy. I'm going to round it out, guys. I am not happy with this pick. I thought there was better options. If, depending on whatever the actual price is, if we got him for $25 or $31 million or whatever on a 1 year left on the contract, fuck it. I ain't giving him an extension. I ain't giving him shit. I ain't doing none of that. I'm drafting a quarterback behind him. I would let him play this final year in a prove-it year. Then that way, if he plays really, really good, he's a free agent, and then he'll covet $50 fucking million in previous seasons. But if the Raiders think Geno Smith is actually the answer for 2 or 3 years, you might as well sign him to an extension now, and maybe you can get him for, $37 or $38 million as opposed to 50 if he plays good and becomes a free agent next year. But again, I would let Geno Smith play it out. I would let him play it out for the $30 million he's getting, and I would draft a quarterback, and I would let him test free agency if he played that good for the Raiders for 1 year. That's my opinion. He's 35. I think they'll give him a 2 or 3 year deal. I wouldn't. We have him under contract. We already gave up a third-round draft pick for him. But again, he could be a holdout. He could be one of these quarterbacks that got traded. I don't want to play for you. If you don't give me another contract. That's what I would do. But we know the Raiders are not going to trade for him and give up a third-round draft pick and not give him another fucking contract. So long story short, Geno Smith's relationship with Pete Carroll got him fucking paid. And Pete Carroll hooked up the Seahawks as well with a third-round draft pick. So who's winning in this trade? Who's losing? In my opinion, the Raiders are losing in this trade. I hope to be wrong. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. The Seattle Seahawks are winning. Why? Because now they got a third-round draft pick. I don't know where they're drafting, 15, 16, 17, 18. They can take that third-round pick and their first-round pick. They can move up into the top 10 or 12 and possibly draft a replacement for him. And they can now sign a veteran quarterback this season, somebody that's available for cheaper than Geno Smith was. I don't know, man. It's going to be an interesting offseason. Jackson Dart stock rose after the combine. I don't think he will fall to the second round. Well, there you go. Maybe the Seattle Seahawks stay at 16, 17, 18, wherever they're drafting, and they get a quarterback, a Jackson Dart or whoever's available. And that means they got an additional third-round pick to retool their team. Well, with the releasing of Tyler Lockett and with DK Metcalf wanting a trade, they are going to trade DK Metcalf. They are starting from scratch. They are rebuilding their team. That's what they are doing by getting the draft capital. So DK Metcalf will be traded. I don't know to who. Tyler Lockett might sign with the Raiders as a veteran free agent quarterback for a few $1 million on a 1 or 2 year deal. And could I see a world where the Raiders want to reunite DK Metcalf to be our star player with Geno Smith? Yeah. If Pete Carroll is hooking up Geno Smith and the Seahawks and reuniting with these players, expect a few more Seattle Seahawks players to come to the Raiders. And what the fuck will it cost to get DK Metcalf? $35 million a year? And I don't like him as a player. I think he's kind of like done for, but if he came to a new team, got a new contract, whatever the situation may be, he might feel reinvigorated and he might want to, play better and do better for his final couple seasons until a possible new contract or a final contract for his career. But does he want to play with Geno Smith again? I don't know. Y'all. And I don't really want DK Metcalf to come to this team. But he is the YOLO ball catcher from Geno Smith. He is the YOLO ball catcher. Whenever they decide to target him, all that Geno Smith does is throw the ball 20 yards and hope that DK Metcalf catches it. And they threw the ball to DK Metcalf a lot, and DK dropped a lot of them, didn't make the plays, and Geno overthrew him, underthrew him. I remember watching some of those Seattle games, and I didn't like the chemistry. I didn't like it. Gtfo Lobo said, what's the upside for us getting Geno? Good point. Not much, in my opinion. Not much, man. If Seattle overpays Sam Darnold and trades away DK Metcalf, Raiders win. Interesting point, Frost. Interesting point. All right, everybody. I'm going to get going. I got some other stuff to do today. Please let me know how you're feeling in the description. My blood pressure is through the roof right now. I don't like this pick. I think it's a bad trade. I don't see it working out for the Raiders, but I need more information. So hopefully I give you guys another video in the next couple days with a better opinion or a worse opinion, but I can get some more information on contract details, if they're going to extend him or what to expect. But damn, I am struggling, y'all, with Pete Carroll being our coach and now Geno Smith, the basic ass name quarterback that's maybe a little bit better than Gardner Minshew. You know, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. Damn. We're not going to trade up in the draft to get a first round draft pick, knowing that they went all in with Geno Smith and they possibly give him a contract. They're not going to use more draft capital to move up to get Shedeur Sanders or anybody. So I guess they got a plan in the draft at quarterback. They hope that either Cam Ward or Shedeur falls to them, or they're going to draft a quarterback like Jackson Dart, Will Howard to reunite with Chip Kelly or something like that. All right, it's going to be a fun couple weeks, y'all, as we get ready for the draft, and free agency starts on Monday. Michael F. is trying to give me words of encouragement. Trust Pete. Wasn't the same thing said about Josh McDaniels? Wasn't the same thing said about AP? Come on, man. But I love you all. I appreciate y'all. Pete Carroll should have traded the third rounder for some Depends adult diapers. Frost, we're feeling some sort of way, guys. I love you all. Thanks for chiming in for this impromptu live stream. And please don't downvote my video about Aaron Rodgers tomorrow or tonight whenever I release it. I do talk about other stuff besides Aaron Rodgers, but I made that video before this one and before I knew. So please forgive me on that. But I still want to make a couple of dollars with the video on YouTube. I love y'all. I am unhappy. I'm definitely unwell at this exact moment. Thanks for hanging out with me and trying to make me feel better. Mikey's back. Reggie, what's up? Geno Solid. I'm glad you all agree. Please, in the description, for anybody that watched the entirety of the video, sell me on Geno Smith, because I am not sold. All right, y'all. I don't know how to turn this shit off. Forgive me. I have no clue how to.